people get hurt at jobs, jobs,
Mm-hmm.
bad work environment, bad jobs. They don't say, I'm not working no more. They say, I'm
True.
going to go find me
True.
a new job. They say,
Right.
I'm going to keep on trying so I can be a good work environment that really fits me. But when it comes to church, they go to 1, 2 churches and they don't have a good experience. It's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
no, nope.
Right.
So it's like, Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Level Uploading, Fight Feelings, Face Facts with yours truly, Shay. As you guys can see, we have a guest, a repeat guest for the
Yes.
second
Yes.
time. Ow, pew, 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 pew. How you doing? We got Earon back here. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good, man. How you feeling today?
I'm making it work. A little
That's all we can
allergies,
do.
but other than that, I'm blessed and highly favored.
That's good. That's good. Always.
I know that the other day we are friends on Facebook, and so you had made
Mm-hmm.
a post that kind of intrigued me. Something I thought that we could possibly dive deeper into. My platform is based off a lot of different things: God,
Mm-hmm.
women's health, things like that. So anything that piques my interest that kind of falls into those realms, I'm gonna always be like, "Hey, you want to come on the show?"
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you had made a post the other day. Can you kind of tell me a little bit about what that post was about?
Yeah. So the post was basically about because I've been having a lot of conversations lately with a lot of people and seeing a lot of people post basically about it's like I guess you know how trends go on social media. I'm seeing a lot of people say I need friends that go to church with me and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that, and which I'm totally what I'm saying 100% with. I just don't. I just don't. To me, in my opinion, I just don't hear a lot of people talking about the relationship part.
Mm-hmm.
Having a relationship with God, I think it's because I look at it from my standpoint of growing up, going to church every Sunday, so 2, 3, 4 times throughout the week,
Mm-hmm.
and even then, I still didn't have my own relationship with God. It was just the more I mean,
Facts.
you can go to church and just build up a it'll just be a cut. You just be used to it. Like, oh, this is part of the
Mm.
routine.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
habit at this point.
yeah, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I made that post just to say what I'm saying, like, going to church is great. I'm not telling anybody not to go to church, but I just don't want people to get caught up in the whole church part and forget God, or think that to get God I have to go to church. Like, God, you can get God wherever you're at,
Mm-hmm.
in the car, what I'm saying, walking outside, you can get God wherever you in the shower, like wherever you want. I just think the times we're in right now, a relationship with God is like probably it will not probably, but it's the most important thing that we need right now. And
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted people to be like, because I also see people talking about having friends that like I said, friends to go to church. It's like, man, friends to go to church is great, but what about the friends that actually have the relationship with God that can what I'm saying, that can kind of help you throughout the whole church process, especially if you first going. Like
And what
you.
about the friends that's gonna actually hold you to that standard outside of church?
Mm-hmm.
Because if we
Exactly.
leave in church and we going to the brunch, and then we're going to turn up and twerk and hook up with people at the brunch Sunday fun day,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that friend is going to church with you for sure, but are they actually holding you accountable, and are they actually trying, like you said, to develop that actual real relationship?
Exactly. Because it's like I don't, and then I didn't want and also like another part of why I made the post, I didn't want church to get watered down to the point to where it's a social thing. Like, oh, we like I got friends that go to church and then we go eat after, and like
Mm-hmm.
I don't want the importance of church to be taken out of context to where me and my girls or me and my guys, we just go to church and then afterwards we go ahead and do this. Where we start with church
Mm-hmm.
first, like, man, let's get back focused on the relationship with God first, and then because church is important. The body of Christ, church is important. It's essential to to God and having a relationship with Him.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't want to take it. You don't want to take it and make it a social thing to where
They
it's
make
just
it church the pregame. Like, we're gonna go
yeah,
here
basically, yeah,
pregame, get that happy good feeling,
yeah,
and then we're gonna take on the world and just do whatever we want to,
hmm,
basically.
yeah,
And that's not to say that you're gonna even do anything wrong after church, but I'm just saying, like, you're just using it for that temporary feeling, and then you go out and you don't talk to God
hmm,
none the rest of the week until the next
yeah.
time.
Exactly, because that's I mean, like I said, me, that's how I was. I was a
Yeah.
kid, parents dragging me to church. Come on, let's go. We got to go to church. We got to do this, and I'm like, all right, and I'm not really, getting what I'm supposed to get out of it, and it just becomes routine. Now they telling me, let's go to church, and I'm like, and it's just a second, it's like second nature now. Like, all right, yep, we got to get up early, get my, nice clothes on, and woo woo. But
Mm-hmm.
it's the relationship part was missing. I didn't get that until I was old and was able to make
Grown.
my own decision. Yeah, so
Yeah.
what I mean. So I just I love to see that people are like starting to come back to God or having interest in God and church. I just don't want it to. I just don't want it to. Be. I just don't want it to be twisted as far as how they're coming in. I don't because it's a lot of we got a lot of bad examples right now, and
Yeah.
so it's, I just try to do my part, say a little something here or there to, try to get people to think a little bit without,
You mentioned the car. Like, I just want to say for myself personally, that's one of my favorite times. Like,
hmm
because like, yes, at home, of course, that's like a given. But like the car, it's like I'm on the move, I'm active, and I'm focused on driving. So I'm not overthinking my prayers. I'm not overthinking what I'm saying. I'm really
hmm
able to let the Holy Spirit flow when I'm talking because of the fact that I'm driving, paying attention to these fools on the road, but also at the same time, that's my alone time when I could cut the radio off and just
right.
pour my heart out. You know what I'm saying? Or,
hmm
like you said, the shower. It's just so many different ways for you to really get into that relationship part, and it's not
Yeah.
just a house, the church house. It's not the only place, and not should not be the only place
hmm
that you cultivate that relationship with Christ at all.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I'm the same way. Every morning headed to work,
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably praying the whole way there. So
Man, that's my favorite.
yes,
I be happy, like,
yeah.
okay, yeah, let's get in this car. Because I don't know what it is about me, but for some reason, it just feels better there because there's nobody around. Like,
hmm
even when you're at home, I mean, I live by myself, but depending on how loud or how intense it
hmm
gets, you got people. You can hear them through the walls, kids running upstairs. It's
hmm
just like so many
hmm
different distractions. But when I'm in a car, it's just like ain't nobody around. I can literally just if I need
Yeah.
to scream, you know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
I need
Yeah.
to anything. So I really do appreciate that you said the car because that's one of my favorite places. And we spent a lot of time in commutes and
hmm
traffic. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
use that time wisely. Don't just use it to listen to trash music. Like use that
Right.
time wisely for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
I think the
Yeah, man.
pandemic played a part too, like as far as like people getting out of the church
hmm
with the pandemic of now people being used to not being actually in the church.
Yeah.
So now that everything is open, it's like let me go back and see my friends. It's more like you said, like more like a social thing. Like let me go
hmm
put on my Sunday's best and show up and show out, and
Yeah.
and it's nothing wrong with looking nice and going to church and everything. But like I said, the main core reason to be there is to be fed and
hmm
to be around people who believe what you believe and are trying to get the same knowledge that you are trying to seek.
Exactly, exactly. And I, like I said before, I just seeing a lot of stuff on social media. It's just like, man, church is really like I know back when I was a kid, church like no, like the older people they didn't really play about church like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like so, and that seems
It's not no
like
games.
yeah, it's not church won the game, so it's like, and now it's like, man, I'm seeing like the stuff that people record and all that stuff. I'm like, man, I don't know. It just don't sit right with me because it to me it's like I said, it just seems like we're taking the the power, what I'm saying, out of the church and really giving it over to social media. And,
Mm-hmm.
it's all about people doing something and, entertaining to get people to come to my we get down in my church. And it's like, man, what's being taught at your church though? You know what I'm
Man, they
saying?
have
So.
production. It's like a production. And my thing is, there's nothing wrong with making your sermon be something that's going to get people's attention. I don't think it's anything wrong with that because honestly, a lot of those people before I had more of my actual real relationship and I was starting, that is a draw, and God can
Mm-hmm.
use all of that. God will use all of that
It
to
will.
get
Yeah.
people interested. And it's people who I started off watching that was like helping me get into my walk who I can't watch now because I have more
Mm-hmm.
knowledge and
Yeah.
more information about, what holiness and sanctification looks like.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't take away the fact that they actually did help me to
Yeah. Yeah.
start the process. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't necessarily agree with the stuff, but I know that God is just able to use everything. Nothing is wasted with Him. So that part is
Facts.
something that
That's
I'm thankful for. But on the flip side, it's like, okay, why are we spitting on people in the church houses, and why are we
man.
pouring syrup
Oof.
on the Bibles and kicking the Bibles and having what did you said somebody had they was growing weed or something or offering them
Yeah,
weed.
yeah, he was saying that he could get more young men if we tell them that we're growing marijuana in the back since we have the land, and it's like
It's
you
like,
would that's
what?
yeah, like you want to use that, you want to use weed to draw people in. I don't know, it's
So
just
you gonna start using the cocaine and the heroin to get the
I
fiends off the
mean
street. Like, we
I'm
gotta
not,
have a line. We have
we
to
got
have a
to
line.
got to
It's supposed to be a place of reverence.
absolutely. Uh,
So on the flip side of that, we have a lot of people who just don't go to church at all. They have church hurt. So what do you
mhm.
think about church hurt? What's your thoughts on that?
um, I think church hurt is a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I see a lot of people say, if you experience church hurt, maybe it's because you weren't focused on getting God more than you were like being in church.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't say I 100% agree with it because at the end of the day, we're still human. We're still going to have interactions with the people inside of the church.
Yep.
So, it's and when we in that space, especially in church, like we want to be able to trust and be open and honest and talk about everything that we want to talk about to people who are probably going through the same thing or that we think are going
Mm-hmm.
through the same thing since we're all on the same walk. And sometimes it just don't work out like that. You got a lot of people who have their ways, and and some people like it really affects them to the point where they're like, I'm not messing with church people. I love God, but I don't really mess with church like that. And or sometimes like for me, that's why I'm so like I'm taking my time and trying to find myself another church home is because of the it's just a lot of theatrics going on and a
Yeah.
lot of a lot of
Shenanigans.
yeah a lot of shenanigans that I'm that I think that further that I've since I've grown further to or grown closer to God. I just it just does it. I ain't gonna say I'm not gonna like look down on it and be like, oh, it's not effective. But I just for me I'm just it's just something else. I'm just looking for something more some more fulfilling some just the truth of I don't need all the extras,
Yeah. You just
now,
need sound doctrine. You need
yeah.
that meat. You don't need all this fluffy milk and all this
Hmm.
fluffy, which is it's a place for it. It's a audience for it. But like you said, as you grow in your walk, you need to be in a place that's going to foster and
Hmm.
increase that knowledge that you are already building on your own time.
Yeah.
It's
So
it's
yeah.
so crazy to me because so one thing my mom said the other day, because I was talking to her about I'm looking for a church here in Nashville, and it's hard. It's very, very
Hmm.
hard. And I didn't think it would be as hard as it is. You're in the Bible Belt, you know what I mean? It's like
Hmm.
churches are everywhere, but sound doctrine is not necessarily
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
My mom was telling me, like, sometimes you have to be a little bit more graceful when it comes to the Sunday sermons because the Sunday sermons they're like cookie cutter. They have
Hmm.
to appease to every different type of believer, like the new believers, the veteran believers. So it's like I put that in
Hmm.
perspective, and I'm like, okay, I can get that because sometimes, like you said, I go to places, and I'm like, this sounds like a kids' church to me.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time, I have to realize that it's people here that is instant in this room that need kids' church. And
Yeah.
they might not be an actual kid, but they
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
it broken
Hmm.
down to that level. So just me trying to have the patience and the grace for that uh, on my journey towards finding a church has, been fun. But also, this is something that I've also heard too. People get hurt at jobs you know, jobs,
Mm-hmm.
bad work environment, bad jobs. They don't say I'm not working no more. They say I'm
True.
gonna go find me
True.
a new job. They say
Right.
I'm gonna keep on trying until I give me a good work environment that really fits me. But when it comes to church, they go to one, two churches and they don't have a good experience. It's like, oh
Mm-hmm.
no, nope.
Right.
So it's like, mm, we
I
need
think what
God
they
more than we need a job,
yeah
honestly.
I think what they hear from everybody else and what they see, I think that adds to it. Like they like they're in it and they're like, oh, so this is what they was talking about when they say that, people
Mm-hmm.
that are in church are judgy and will do and all this and that, and they like also I guess they was for real about that. So I guess I think they take that and that just adds on to them and say, well, I'm just gonna not mess with the church. I'm
They
just gonna.
already have that preconceived kind
Mm,
of thing going in because it's so common that it's said.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
so crazy. It's no middle ground because it's like we have the churches who are too lenient and too secular because they are trying to appeal to people and not be judgy. And then we have the churches that are like so judgy and so
Hmm.
cliquish, and it's like a off-putting to the people. So
Yeah.
it's like we have to find those churches that have a balance of, hey, this is still a holy, sanctified place. We're not about to let you just do anything, conduct yourself
Hmm.
any type of way, but also we're not here to condemn you, or, and
Right.
make you feel like trash.
Right. Yeah, I think people have a hard time separating that. I think they look at love differently. That they look at
Mm-hmm.
it as like they look at love as, oh, you should accept everything, everything that I do. But
Mm-hmm.
I think that, most people have a hard time with the difference of, I would love for you to be here. I want you to be here, but still, we still have a standard that we have that, if you're gonna be here, that you have to come under that standard, and we can't allow for this type of stuff to happen. And you shouldn't, if you're really looking for God, so you should want to do what He wants you to do and be how He wants you to be. So it shouldn't be an issue for someone to say like, hey, I know this. I know you're going through, but when we're here, this is how we got to conduct ourselves. But I think people that don't want to be told what to do nowadays. They're like, this is how I'm gonna come, and this is how I'm gonna be,
But we go to
and
restaurants, and a restaurant or a club
hmm
has a dress code. We just make sure that we're in dress code so that we don't have any
hmm
problems. So it's like, why is it that we have so much leniency and grace for rules and regulations and things like that in every other organization and institution? But when it
hmm
comes to the place of, the temple of God, well, we are the temple, but you know what I'm saying? When it comes
hmm
to the actual church where we go to give reverence and worship, it's like, oh, I should be able to just do anything. Even like the come as you are churches, I think that's good because some people might have just came from work. Some people
hmm
might not have good dress clothes. Some people might not, be in a space where they barely can get out the bed, yet
right.
alone to be trying to get dressed up. You know what I'm saying? So, but some of the come as you are is like, okay, we're not coming in here with
hmm
the stripper clothes on. Like, whoa,
hmm
we come to
Yeah,
church and it's like, whoa, okay. Like
yeah.
I've seen some things in some of these churches,
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah. Me too.
and
And it's trickled over to men too, because it's like, man, like I love a good suit, but it's like, how tight do you want?
what are
How
you
tight are
trying
you
to
gonna wear this?
show?
Yeah, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
how tight is the suit going? How tight do you want the suit, bro? You know what I mean? So it's just a lot.
Yeah.
But a lot of stuff we got to pray through and get through.
So what do you do? Like, what is your, since you don't have a church home either right now? Like, what are some of the things that you do to just cultivate that relationship from wherever?
So I'm in my word a lot. I do have there's a pastor out here. I'll give him a shout out. Thaddeus Searcy from in Lansing, Illinois. He um like his church. I went to his church for a while. I love him and the way he teaches. Like he knows he teaches and breaks down the word very well, very very
Mm-hmm.
well. So if I want to be fed, and if he's delivering the sermon that day, I'll check in on YouTube and watch his live or something,
Okay.
or on Facebook or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but for the most part, like I'm in my word. I'm praying. And there's another church that's not too far from me. Restoration Mountain. It's more of my type of what I was kind of looking for originally. Small, intimate,
Mm-hmm.
not a lot going on. It's just he's giving the word. He's giving what told him to give, and he also breaks down the Bible very well. So, but those are my two. Those are my two right now. But I just think that being in the words, because it's like, man, with the Bible, it's like you could, no matter how many times you read it, like the next time you read it, it's like, oh, I didn't see this, or you get
It's
something else out of something every
crazy.
time. Yeah,
It's
so it's like,
living. It's the living word for real. Cause
yeah,
I'll be
for
like,
real, for real.
I know I just read this last week, and I'm getting something totally different this time.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like I'm never bored when I open my Bible. I'm never bored. Like it's never like that. I'm reading it. It's like, man, I missed that this time. Let me make a note about this, or let me mark this. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I just that's what I do for now.
So
Yeah.
what is it? What is it that you think will help you know when it's the right church and when it, because I I too do those similar things. I'm very much in my word daily. I'm praying without ceasing if I can, unless I'm
Mhm.
sleeping because I like sleep a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
But you know, we need fellowship. We need to use our gifts.
Hmm.
And what do you think is going to be the key place where you're going to be? Because there's no such thing as a
Hmm.
perfect church. We know
Right.
that it's
Right.
humans. We got to deal with humans. But I'm asking you that, and I'm asking myself that too, low key, because it's like, where do you actually figure out when it's time, or
Hmm.
where it's time to kind of settle and find a good place?
Yeah. Well, I think for me, I think it's not a. So like you said, every church isn't perfect. So I don't want to commit to a church until I've I've gone there a few, a
Yeah.
nice amount of times. I don't want to just
Mm-hmm.
go and be like, oh man, this is cool. I'm gonna just join here. I don't want to make that kind of rush decision.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
go a few times and then and see how things are, throughout, the time that I'm going. And then,
Mm-hmm.
if if it feels fine, I know the word is given well, then and then for for me on a like personally, for me, it's I think I have to I'm so used to I before the pandemic, I was my home church. I was
Mm-hmm.
there my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes, even still now, even like when I go into another church, I'm like, you know I'm a little bit uncomfortable because I'm like, I ain't used to this. I'm used
You
to
have to
this.
jump in and get in where you fit in, type of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Like it's
right.
like you went from being everybody knew you and you knew
Hmm.
everything about the church to like now I have to figure out something in a new.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, cause me, like, I don't have a problem visiting the church, but that's because I know, like, oh, well, this ain't my church, so I really don't have to go back, But
Mm-hmm.
this is my first time trying to find a church home, so it's like, I don't want to rush it, but I don't want to get too comfortable with. I just go here and there. I don't want to get too comfortable in
Right.
that mode. So
Exactly. I
yeah.
know from me myself, I really really need to get better at, and this is so petty, but there is a reason behind it. I need to get better at um trying to stay a little bit after and actually develop some relationships and
Hmm.
talk, because one thing about it, when they start doing the altar call, I'll be okay. Time to get to that parking lot
That's
so I
what I'm
can get up,
saying.
so I can get up out of there, because I don't want to deal
Yeah,
with the parking. I don't want to deal with the line and all the people coming at the same time. So it's like, how can you cultivate relationships and get to know people within the church if as soon as the sermon's over, you out? You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
that's something that I am personally trying to work on, because one thing about it, I will disappear. Like I was
Yeah,
never there. Call me Cinderella, okay?
yeah.
With no shoe left, no
No,
shoe
I'm
left
not.
behind.
No, I'm with you on that one because I like when soon as they say right, it's over, I'm out. I'm
All
like,
right.
all right, I'll see
And
y'all
it's like,
next week. Yeah.
how can you get your foot in the door? How
Hmm.
can you meet anybody? How can you actually know where your talents could be used if we ain't talking to nobody?
Right,
So
right.
I'm calling myself out on that. I definitely need to do better, because Yeah.
Yeah, same here, same here, same here.
So I know that you
Yeah.
have children.
Hmm.
So when it comes to your kids, how are you going to navigate that? Like, I know some people say they want to wait and let their children decide if they want to go to
Hmm.
church because they were so used to being forced as kids.
Hmm.
I know some people that say, "Hey, no, my kids got to go get the foundation because training up a child in the way you should go." So,
Hmm.
what's your take on that? How are you going to handle that?
So, um, I have a son and a daughter. So my daughter, they're both primarily with their moms, but my daughter, she's in church every Sunday. So
Okay.
whether it's with me or her mom. So she's already being brought up in that. My son, if he goes to church, it's primarily with me.
Okay.
Um, but I think my biggest thing with them as it is with any situation when it comes to children is to communicate with them
Mm-hmm.
and to let them know like yeah, I'm that this is just um, this is like you said, this is we're really just starting. I want you to get into understanding what church is and what church is about,
Mm-hmm.
even when like throughout the week or on the weekends, like I still we would I sit them down and I talk about prayer or I get a Bible and we'll go over some in the Bible. Um,
That's dope.
but I just I don't want because like you said that whole feeling forced thing I had that and
Mm-hmm.
I don't want them to feel like I'm forcing them, but I do want them to know that there's a reason why I would want them to be in church every Sunday.
Gotcha.
It's not just because I told you so, or you doing you gonna do what I say, we going to church and that's that.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's because there's a reason behind why I would like you to be in church every Sunday, because this is where you get a great foundation to be not just a person with good morals, but to develop your relationship with God. So um, it's just about communication. I think I'm from that parental generation where it was like do what I say, and that's that. Don't ask me no questions.
Yeah.
I'm not explaining anything to you. Just do what I say,
Mm-hmm.
and we're just gonna rock out like that. But I try to be more communicative with my children. Uh, to even
Breaking
with my
them
son.
generational curses.
Yeah, yeah. Even even when I gotta punish him or so, what I'm saying, to discipline him or something, I'm telling him like we talk about it first. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is why I'm doing this. This is why this is happening. You understand that, so next time we making better decisions. So I just think it's all about communication.
I respect
Uh,
that for sure.
yeah.
And it's so hard because, like, with social media, I mean, I'm not a parent, so I just can
Mm,
only imagine because I'm grieved a lot of times and it's just me, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
About how sneaky the enemy is with the things that
Hmm.
he's like sneaking into our psyches. And when
Hmm.
I say our, I just mean like the, people.
Yeah.
They're consuming social media that is pushing this version of God that is love, 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 and a different definition of love that has no correction, that
Hmm.
has no accountability, that has no standards. Um, they're pushing like this whole universalism and this
Hmm.
everything is within you and you're sovereign. Like, when did
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
become sovereign? You don't even know. If you were sovereign, you would probably be a millionaire hitting the lotto.
Right.
Like, if you knew everything that you were supposed to know, we wouldn't need each other, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so it's just crazy to think about the fact that the kids now are growing up with all these different voices. And don't get me wrong, we have a
Hmm.
lot of different voices too, but the way that it's just like pounded in their heads and it's all so quick because of
Hmm.
the short form content that's like 10 seconds is just enough for a seed to plant.
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
seconds is just enough time for something to plant and root in your child that makes them say, well, hey, actually, no. I think that the universe, because you know what I'm saying? It's like, that to me is terrifying. That's so scary
Yeah.
because the enemy is just so tricky. And I mean, as a person, I used to, in unknowingly, ignorantly, used to, be into zodiac signs and like looking at horoscopes and little things like that that I
Mm-hmm.
thought was just harmless. Like, whatever, I'm just looking at this, not realizing this deception and the fact that I'm coming into agreement with a lot of toxic traits
Yeah,
that they're
yeah,
they're putting on me, instead of having my identity actually be based on Christ and who He says I am. You know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah, it's real scary, man. I think when it comes to social media with having kids, it's like, man, you really have to. We're not able to see everything, every single thing that they're doing, but
Yeah.
we have to. There has to be some type of monitoring, going
Mm-hmm.
on. Because like I said, this like you said, like the stuff that they can see on there, it'll paint a picture that you don't want your that you wouldn't want your children to see.
Yeah.
And it's like I heard I don't want to butcher it. I don't know the exact quote word for word, but I heard I think he was a pastor. He had said something about he didn't want I guess he was reclaiming culture for the church,
Oh yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
something
That was
along those
William
lines.
Murphy, right? William
Yeah,
Murphy.
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
I
Something
saw
along those
that.
lines. Yeah, something along those lines. And I just and well, first, this is just how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't think that we have. I don't our people. I don't think we have a culture because if our culture is hip hop and the stuff all that they talk about, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't
No, thank you.
like I don't want to be a part of the culture.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we have a culture. Think culture is more so what they have like overseas.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like that's what I think, and I think a culture is another reason why they have arranged marriages because it's like, well, when you grow up, when you have a culture, you grow up. All right, well, I know that this man taught his son this way. I taught my daughter this
We're
way.
aligned, and
We're
then and
aligned. Let's
mm-hmm.
so we want our children to be married. That's and not saying that we got to do arranged marriages over here, but but I'm saying that's the culture. That's the culture part, and like I just
Yeah.
think we're all over the place. So I
Mm-hmm.
really and to put our culture in hip hop and rap where everything is about vanity and drugs and all all the stuff they talk about the over sexualization. I think if that's our culture,
No
we're in a
thanks.
yeah, yeah,
Look,
that's
it
like
says
we're in
thanks,
a,
but no thanks.
yeah, no thank you, no thank you at all. So it's like, like statements like that to me are kind of dangerous. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? When you try to ingrain culture into the church, when worldly culture is nowhere near what church culture should be.
We're supposed to be set apart. We're supposed to come out from among them. Like, how can we be like? Yes, we are. We cannot affect anybody if all the Christians just stay to the Christians and don't talk to any of the unbelievers. I'm not
Hmm.
saying that, but we are supposed to be among them, and we're supposed to set the atmosphere. We're not supposed to be letting them set the atmosphere. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah, yeah.
if you're going to, let me use an example. So they have this new thing. I know we have one here. You in Chicago, so well, Chicago land. So I know
Hmm.
y'all might have one out there, but we have Christian nightclubs now out here, and
Hmm.
I don't know how I feel about it. It's not really for my age group anyway, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. I don't club, but like
Hey, that's crazy work. I ain't gonna lie.
it's like a Christian nightclub. Like,
That's
how
crazy.
does that work? Yeah, mind you, they have these rules: no twerking, no
Hmm.
smoking, no drinking. But it's like, I don't know. I
It
just
still puts you in that atmosphere of a
yes, it's still
of a club
strobe lights. It's
setting.
still dark.
Yeah.
It's they're playing Christian music, but it's like the atmosphere and the thought of what a club is, what culture has taught you a club is. I just
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
that that's you know what I mean. That's to
Hmm.
me that's the same thing as these Holy Spirit Ouija boards. Like what? That's
Mm.
like so. Have you ever seen that a Holy
No, I
Spirit
never
Ouija
seen that.
board? They
I never
have
seen that.
it's for the Christians so that we can talk to God.
Oh. Oh.
Doesn't that sound crazy? Like
Yeah, it does.
what?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like this is an oxymoron. You can't do these two things together. So it's just
Hmm.
really. I don't think that we're supposed to condemn, but we're not supposed to condone. Ooh, that's a word
Exactly. Yeah,
right there.
that's
Let me write
good.
that
That's
down.
good. No, that's
that was
good. That's good. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was good. But no, I mean, as somebody who used to go to clubs, it's like you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody goes to. No, I don't think anybody. Well, I say majority. Majority of people don't go to clubs for the music. They're going to see other men are going to see women. Women are going to see men. So it's like when you put them in the atmosphere, that's like
Still the same
that's still
atmosphere.
it's still the same. It's still the same. You can try to cover it up with we play Christian music, yeah, but this is basically I'm going to see how let me find
Yep.
let me find me a woman, let me find me a man type deal.
In a dark room with strobe lights playing, and no matter what the rules are, like I don't know. It's
Hmm.
just a really weird concept. But like I said, thankfully it's not my age group. And
Yeah.
it has its backlash. I do think that youth need places to be able to have fun because just because you're a Christian and you
Hmm.
want to, follow Christ does not mean that you don't want to have fun. So I do
Yeah.
get that part of it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, when I was a teenager, I just had the regular worldly fun. So I don't really know
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that balance. I don't
Hmm.
know what that's like because for me, I just did what the world did. So I try not to judge it too much, but I just don't get it. I don't
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I'm not, I try not to be too judgy. I know out here, I remember when the Walls group came. And I think what would be a great thing is to have is what they had. It was a concert out. It was outdoors,
Mm-hmm.
and people brought their blankets and laid them all out, and what I'm saying. We just enjoyed the songs, the words. We
Mm-hmm.
just enjoyed, and we praised God there. Like that would be 1,000 times better than a club, what I'm saying, a Christian club or
Yeah.
whatever that is. Just people coming together, what I'm saying, listening to the beauty, the songs that God's put on people's hearts to write and sing and have them display their vocal gifts and all this stuff. Man, that would
Yeah.
be that would be great if we could get more Christian artists to do that, more more gospel artists to do that. That would be great for people to come together and do that.
One thing that I am missing from the like having an actual church home and what I'm really really looking forward to is Bible study. Like I want to be in small groups, like you said, more intimate.
Yeah.
Like church service sermons, okay, yeah, I get it. You got to reach everybody, but the Bible study is something that I feel like is going to be so much more helpful for my growth and my
Hmm.
development. I
Yeah,
want to be able
definitely.
to sit with other believers and talk through the word,
Hmm.
for people that know more than me and people who don't
Yeah,
know as much as me or people who might see things differently and can, show me a different viewpoint.
yeah,
So that's what I'm really, really looking forward to.
yeah, and look, that might be a better way. What I'm saying, since me and you both got the same issue of leaving right at the church, that might be a better way to actually get to know. You know what I'm saying?
That's why
Get
I
to know
said it. I
a
was
few
trying to
people.
get,
Yeah,
I was trying to, I was, okay, we on the
yeah,
same page.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah,
trying to ease that in there. Like,
yeah, yeah. So
the
yeah,
Holy
that
Spirit
would
told
be a
me to
good
tell you
idea.
Bible study.
Yeah,
So there you
yeah,
go.
yeah, that would be a good idea. Yeah, yeah.
That's a
But
good
I do,
way
I do,
to
I do want to say this though. Like, I know we talking about all this stuff, but I don't want anybody to look at what I'm saying, hear the things we say and to look at us as like we're holier than thou. Like man, we
oh.
still to probably did today or probably even yesterday. We still probably did something we wasn't supposed to do. Or
Mm-hmm.
it's still like no, I don't want people to lump. Like a lot of people so always say like don't put me in the category with them, but don't do that with us either. We don't we all Christians aren't the same. Every
Mm-hmm.
believer isn't the same. You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of flaws. Nobody's perfect. We're gonna mess up probably every day. We're gonna until we're out of here. Like we're gonna continue to
Yep.
mess up. We all have our flaws. We all do things that we shouldn't do. We all make decisions that we probably shouldn't make. So it's like I don't want anybody to look at us and be like, oh, well, they just talking, they judging it. We're not doing that. I just think we coming from a place of where we've been through it. So
Mm-hmm.
we're really trying to pass down that the knowledge that we've gained, what I'm saying, to try to keep people from going through the things that we had went through. I think that Bible said I don't know exactly where it is, but it says something about a wise person learns from saying seeing somebody else go through and instead of like basically going through it themselves, putting
Mm-hmm.
themselves into it. So we just want to we want to be those people that come and say, hey, let's try to let's you're gonna make your own decision. You could do what you want at the end of the day. But at least take what we say into a little bit of consideration to avoid the huge pitfalls that what I'm saying that come with you
Huge
know
pitfalls and
yeah.
setbacks and delays
Hmm.
and covenants on your, things that you have to pray off and break off and strongholds that come with this stuff. And like I said, I never even experienced the struggle of being a teenager or a young person
Hmm.
who is trying to navigate holiness and still have fun and have youth. You know what I mean? I don't know what that's
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
because of the fact that I chose the world. Like,
Hmm.
let's just keep it a being. I chose that level of fun. That what that fun looked like meant more to me than holiness. So for
Hmm.
anybody out here that is in that place, I don't know about it.
Yeah.
All I know about it is
Listen.
navigating it now as a more mature adult.
Yeah.
But I've been through some things. So it's like,
Yeah.
if y'all could just not go through it. And I
Man,
know it's some
listen.
stuff you have to learn through the fire, some stuff you have to
Yeah. Yeah.
learn.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I get that, but if you could just not learn it the hard way and you could skip this step, take that get out of jail free card and man, run.
Please, please do it. And I'm me. I was lukewarm for years,
Mm-hmm.
for a long time. Like I said, I was in. I've been to church my whole been to church my whole life. I was in uh Christian schools, churches all throughout the week, while still, what I'm saying, and which my friends knew about, while still doing all the same stuff that they was doing. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I like it's a I try to tell people, like, as far when it comes to me and my testimony, I try to tell people, like, I battled for years, literally for years, with straddling the line, with being lukewarm. I've been in places where, like, I don't think I should do this, but my guy's doing it. So it's like, oh well, I got my guy, so
Right, right.
I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So it took other people telling me, like, man, you're different, bro. Like, you don't. I've never seen you do this. I've never seen you do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't go to parties, you don't do this, you don't do that. So, like, other people can see the difference clearer. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like I just try to tell people, like, man, it's like, you don't know how tough it is, battle trying to figure out, like, going through that battle of, I love God, I know God, but man, I love everything that's out here too.
Yeah,
I want to hang out with my boys. If what I'm saying, if I do what God say, then I can't. Everybody gonna think ain't nobody gonna think I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? All that, like, that's a mental battle. You know what I'm saying? And I dealt with that for years. You know what I'm saying? Like I
man.
said, it took me till I was an adult. So I'm like, man, I don't have the time or the you know what I'm saying, I don't got no time to play around anymore. So
Yeah. So what is your parting advice for anybody who is, although we both don't have a
mm,
church yet, but anybody who is also on the journey of just trying to find that relationship with God and cultivate it, what is your parting
mm.
advice for them?
uh my parting advice would be just find out for yourself. Like, if you see, even if you don't know them, like I got a lot of friends on Facebook. If you see me or anybody else posting, and you're interested, don't be scared to reach out and ask. I wouldn't like it. Don't just look at what everything that you see on social media and take your cue off of that. Reach out, ask, be inquisitive about it. And like I said, just don't look hear the don't let the negativity make your decision for you. Because you know what I'm saying, for a lot of people who don't believe it, who don't believe, will never believe, or who stop believing,
Mm-hmm.
that might, that's probably that's them and their opinion. Like, let your allow yourself to encounter it, to develop your own opinion on whether it works for you, or whether you want to, continue to be how you want to be. I just know that choosing God was the best decision I've ever made. I've never felt more protected. He's never failed me. He's never lied. Everything he said, or everything that he promised in the word, he's come through
Mm-hmm.
over and over again. So to have, and to have that type of security, to know that, there's a God in heaven, I have a Father in heaven who really loves me for me, because he made me who I am, and he made me how I am. And I made another post that, no matter how many times you've done wrong, God, God, even the unbelievers, God, he still has his hand. He still has his hands on you. He still protects you
Man.
from all this stuff, and so that should show you how much that he loves you. So if you're like new in the walk, or you're interested in, or inquisitive about it, man, find someone that you can talk to about it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
don't let the naysayers, don't let their opinion, or don't let their experience paint or draw up your experience, or draw up your narrative, or help you
Yeah.
sway you to their side when you haven't even tried it or experienced it yet. Because I know,
Yeah.
like it's a lot of people are it's a lot of people out there that are missing out. They're missing something that they feel like they can't feel. Like it's just, like, I'm empty here. I'm empty. There's something missing, man. I'm telling you, God will fill
Yeah.
everything that everything that you think you're missing. God will he fills all the holes, man.
Yes,
Uh,
amen to that. So much
yeah,
peace, so much joy, so much
yeah,
security here. We love it here, y'all. Come get y'all some.
yeah, man. Yeah,
Well, I appreciate you so much.
yeah. I
Oh,
appreciate
go ahead,
you. I
go ahead, go
appreciate
ahead.
you. I know. I wanted to say. I just know that. I just feel like a lot of people are dealing with a lot of things that they're trying their hard to get over, and it's like, man, like some of this stuff, a lot of this stuff is not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. You can't physically get through a lot of these things. Most of the stuff is spiritual, man. Once you realize that, and you realize that we can go, that we have, there's a source that we can go to at any time, that's there for us, to guide us and lead us. Why would you even want to go through anything on your own when you have someone there that's like,
Yeah,
look, I'll take this for you. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's one of the greatest attributes of God. He's like, you want to go through that, and I'm sitting here waiting for you just to give it to me.
man.
You
You
know,
over here breaking your back trying to go through this, and I'm waiting for you to literally. I can. This is light work for me.
light work, light work. So yeah, man, come on, yeah, man. Everybody, I just encourage everybody, man. Look, God is everything you want him to be, need him to be, and more. And his plans for you are better than the plans that you have for yourself. Whatever you think you want, he like, man, I can do that 100 times over. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So
Amen. Well, I definitely appreciate you. I appreciate your words, your testimony, your realness.
I
Hopefully,
appreciate it.
this will convict both of us and edify both of us to
Definitely,
get
definitely.
get ourselves into some Bible study at least.
hmm Yeah, yeah,
To
definitely.
get our
Yeah,
foot in the door of the church, at least, or something. I don't know. We'll see. But I wish you the best on your journey finding the church, and I know that you will continue to grow in Christ, and your
I
relationship with
appreciate
God will
that.
continue to flourish.
I wish the same for you. I wish the same for you. I
Thank
know,
you.
how it is down there in Tennessee. So yeah. So yeah, I'll be praying for you in your journey and finding the church home and all that stuff too.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
hmm
Well, this has been another episode of Level Up Chats with Shay and Earon. You guys have a good one. See you on the next one. Bye.
Bye bye.